And we're back. And yes, you are coming to me from my cupboard. You can take a look around and get something to eat if you're hungry. Take all you want, but eat all that you take. Before we get down to brass tacks and start baking, let's talk about food safety, or rather appropriate food handling, so as to avoid cross-contamination and food poisoning. Germs aren't very discriminating at all, so proper food handling is to protect you as much as it is to protect your guests. Nothing will put you off food faster than a bad case of salmonella or E. coli food poisoning. I've had the former, and it was not fun. In fact, it was about 2 years ago. It was on tax day 2007, which is quite possibly the worst day to get any kind of illness, because it seemed like the ER was packed with people who were having heart attacks. I wonder why. So, proper food handling is more than just washing your hands, which I'm about to do actually. And it is more than remembering not to chop fresh vegetables or fruits or grains or anything on the same board as raw meat, seafood, or poultry. It's common sense things like making sure you're not wearing any jewelry, or if you're wearing earrings that they don't hang too low, putting your hair back, making sure you keep all your raw or dry goods in Ziploc bags so they don't get little mealworms or moths or spiders. It's also about prep work. If you're good about your prep work, you won't have to worry about food handling and bacteria too much. So, for example, here. So as you can see, I've sort of already gotten everything out. And as a general habit, even if this cutting board hasn't had any meat juice on it, I always cut half a lemon, sprinkle some salt across it, and then rub the lemon into the board after every use. What you see on it right now are traces of the cut up butter, but still, like I said, I'm going to clean it up as soon as we're done cooking. So that's basic food safety handling. Let's get down and start cooking. So in order to make the pinwheel peach cobbler for the dough, you're going to take half a cup firmly packed dark brown sugar, about 3 tablespoons coarsely chopped crystallized ginger, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and you are going to mix this in one bowl all together. I know the angle kind of sucks, but hopefully the auditory portion of the video will be sufficient for the time being. I'm not very high tech, as you can tell. So we're going to mix that until it's nicely whipped together, and then we're going to set it aside. And touch my nose. See? Yeah, I'm kind of a stickler for clean kitchens and just general good safety practices. So in the bigger bowl, we are going to add a third of a cup sugar. I'm using turbinado or sugar in the raw for this portion of the mixture. I will be using granulated white sugar for the actual peach portion. And then you will add 1 teaspoon of salt. No, sorry, half a teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, not soda, powder. 2 cups all-purpose flour. And about 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla. And again, we're whisking. And you want to get this all good and mixed. Okay, now we're going to get pretty hands-on, and this portion sort of underscores why it's important to make sure you wash your hands and make sure your nails are clean and that you're not wearing any jewelry, because in order to get the dough to become doughy, that requires adding fat, solidify, and liquid, heavy cream, and butter. And first we're going to add the butter, 1 stick, so half a cup butter. And we are going to sort of knead it together with our hands, or my hands rather. I'm going to do this until I've got some clumps going on. One of the things I love most about food is that it's hands-on. And it's not fine art, but it is a culinary art. And I love when I can get my hands into everything that I'm working on. Sort of makes everything seem, well, like I've actually had more to do with the preparation and the cooking. So we're going to continue to do this, and you can just sit there and watch. Okay, alright. So that's about good. We want clumps and coarse meal. Okay. Now, if you're still with me, I don't know if the camera turned off automatically. Sometimes it does that. I'm going to start adding the heavy cream using 2/3 of a cup. And another 1/3 of a cup. And we're mixing, we're mixing, we're mixing. And now I'm going to incorporate the brown sugar mix. This is going to be fun. Oh my god. This is awesome. It's dough! Sweet. Oh man. My hands. It smells really good though. The vanilla and the brown sugar and the turbinado sugar and the butter. Just the house is redolent of happiness. If happiness had a smell, it would be this. Wow. I'm going to have to keep kneading, so you can just sit there. It's always good to have a spoon nearby because then you can scrape off the clumps that just won't come off your fingers. wow, we're still recording all this time. Awesome! Okay. Well, alright. I'm going to continue to knead, and I'll get back to you in a little bit. Okay, thanks.